put in very young people. And this happened in the UK. And the response of the British press was that, oh, you can't do anything with young people. The reaction of the head of that organization was that you can't do anything without young people. It later turned out that he was right. Those young people went on to win the English Premier League that year. That club was Manchester United, and the manager was Alex Ferguson. Now, the reason I chose to start here is that since 2015, I have pined for a conference such as this. And the APC youth have proven that we can't do anything without them. They have brought us out. And I commend them for this very, very auspicious beginning. Now, the other point I quickly want to make is that when I hear people say there is no ideology in Nigerian politics, I disagree very, very, very vehemently. The reason is that progressivism itself is an ideology. And I tell people that for me, what being a progressive simply means is a commitment to improving the human condition. So I want to ask all of us here, I don't know what your definition is, but if one of the commitments we can go home today with is if people say there's no ideology in our politics, this party, the APC, has an ideology, progressivism, which is to improve the human condition. Now, I wonder if the gentlemen completing my slides are here, and if they will, could they quickly just go to slide 3? Because I just want to make a few points. You see, our choices about infrastructure are political, and indeed they are economic. And don't forget what I've just said about progressivism and improvement of the human condition. So in 2012 or 2014, you will see that a recession had been foretold in this country. The then Minister for Finance had foretold that we were going to have a recession. So the question of who won in 2015 or who did not win was not the reason why the Nigerian economy went into recession. Let us be very clear about that. The point to make is what were the choices available. And one of the choices available was that we decided that we were going to use infrastructure to not only bring the economy out of recession, but also to use it as a pillar of growth for sustainable development and the creation of employment. But that was not just said. And if you go to slide 8, you will see that we then prepared a plan. So we didn't just say it. We prepared a plan, an economic recovery and growth plan. And then we decided that we were going to fund that plan. Now, if you will go back to the slides showing the budgets for 2015, when this administration took office, I think it is useful to set the context. Can I have the moving microphone? I need to move. There was a mobile microphone. I need to see, thank you very much, if it's working. Thank you very much. You see, if you look at this slide, in 2015, the price of crude oil, as had been said, had come down significantly to 48. But I think the slide that should interest us is from 2009 to 2014. The price of oil was steadily climbing: 61, 79, 94, 94, 97, and 93. But even at that time, they were already saying we were going into a recession. What were the policies that defined how all this tremendous wealth was being used? It's a matter for a debate when the time comes. And I'm going to be ready to lead that debate for our party and for our government. But let us go to 2015, the budget slide, very quickly. Now, this is the budget we met in the Federal Ministry of Works. For all of Nigeria's roads, 18 billion naira. In 2015, that was the year I left as governor of Lagos. And the budget for roads in Lagos for that same 2015 that I left for works was at least 50 billion naira for one state. This was what they left in 2015. This was what we met. So it's important because these records have been kept. But look at what we have done. From 2016, we went to 260 billion. Then to 274, then to 365, and then it started to taper. Again, this is important because it takes me to the next slide very quickly. If you move this slide forward.
You're on to GTV Africa live from
one more,
Abuja.
And further,
subscribe to our YouTube channel and continue to join
the
conversation from the youth conference.
Yes, this is the slide I wanted.
In Abuja.
So you will see that even though in 2015 they budgeted 18 billion naira for all of Nigeria's roads, the price of oil was $48. It has come to 48. But what did we do? We budgeted 260 billion naira in the year immediately after, and the price of oil was still going down. It meant that we committed to increase spending on infrastructure by 1,334%, even when the price of our principal source of revenues was dropping. Remember this slide, and it speaks to where we are today. It speaks to the reason why we have now over 800 different contracts across the 36 states of Nigeria and the federal capital, building one road, a bridge, or rehabilitating one item of public infrastructure or the other. And that covers 13,000 kilometers of federal highway network across Nigeria today. That is progressivism. That is a commitment to improving the human condition in Nigeria. Now, I will pause quickly there and you ask, oh, how is the human condition improving? On most of those roads, people used to sleep there in 2015. Even if we have not finished, today the journey time is better. The experience is better, your travel time is reduced, and those who use the Ilori-Jeba road, the Benin or Shagamu road, the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway will tell you that they don't sleep on those roads anymore, or the Enugu to Port Harcourt highway. That alone is indicative of an improvement, of a plan, of a journey that we have started. Now, but the road is the end game. The real game starts from when the Senate President and his team approve the budget, and when the Minister of Finance presents the borrowing plan to them. And then we begin to talk about financing the budget. And so from that time, people begin to get employed. Surveyors who do the preparation of the right of way, estate valuers who do enumeration for compensation, geotechnical experts who do soil surveys, engineering and design consultants who design the highway. Those are the people who immediately begin to get employed simply because we want to build a road or a bridge. And that is how that journey starts until it gets to the man who is classified as the urban poor, who earns a living on the construction site every day. And that, in between all of that, are those who supply diesel, supply asphalt, supply bitumen, supply cement, supply iron rod, and so on and so forth. Construction companies don't keep these materials. It is the activity of President Muhammadu Buhari and his Vice President who make this commitment that starts that chain reaction in the economy. And this is really the heart of the matter. This is the connection with the people. Now, go back, and that's why I said there is ideology. That progressivism means a commitment to improving the human condition. Just imagine if in 2007, 2008, just imagine if that was the time President Buhari was elected, when oil prices was $94 a barrel. Would we be in this situation? So, but it is at the time when there is no more money that we are delivering roads, that we are delivering rain. So, please, focus on these things. But let me go back to that plan. And we needed to fund that plan. So if you go to slide 13 very quickly now, we'll race through this. Thank you. So this was the first thing we tried to do, is to cook. Anything just to raise money to fund that big budget we had made. Some people said, oh, the sukuk was an attempt to Islamize Nigeria. My reaction to them was that if you don't like the sukuk in your state, please tell us. But nobody has come out to say they don't want the sukuk. So the sukuk is now affecting and benefiting 44 roads across the 6 geopolitical zones. The amount we raise each year is shared equally between the zones and then applied to the zones. The next one was the PIDF. Can you quickly go to it? Yes, this Presidential Infrastructure Development Fund covers essentially 3 projects in the Ministry of Works: the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, the Abuja-Kano Expressway, and the second Niger Bridge. Needless to say, the results are visible, work is in progress, and I won't take any more time, but it is delivering 513 kilometers of road. Remember that. The Presidential Infrastructure Development Fund. The next one is slide 15, the Road Infrastructure Tax Credit. And this is again an initiative from the previous administration, but we have improved upon it significantly. They initiated it, but they didn't close any transaction on it. And the first project that came to light there was the Obajan-Akaba Road, which happened during President Buhari's time. And the tax credit itself is our engagement with private sector, and this is currently delivering 181 kilometers of road. The next one is cooperation with development corporations. If you go to slide 18 very quickly, what we're doing with the Northeast Development Commission, and this is impacting our ability to rebuild some of these bridges, Kuzum, Dilchim, and Wurungadi, and this is the amount of investment in this area in Adamawa. These bridges were largely damaged as a result of conflict. But let me wind down quickly because I don't want to keep His Excellency the Vice President waiting any longer than is necessary. Just go to slide 20. And so this is the result of what I have tried to share with you. 895 projects, 43 internal university roads. So we are building roads in federal tertiary institutions And young people in those institutions will tell you how this has impacted their ability to go to lectures, to go to their places. And again, don't forget what I said, improving the human condition, even in the classrooms. And construction of housing estates in 34 states across the country. So people get shelter. Is that improving their conditions? You agree?
You're home to GTV Africa live from
Bridge rehabilitation.
Abuja
So whether it is Koto Cafe,
from
whether it
Progressive
is
Youth Conference.
Church and Green Bridge, whether it is Isaac Boro Bridge, whether it is Third Mainland Bridge, across Nigeria, that is going on. But interesting thing about it is creating work, sustainable employment. So there is a new cadre. Somebody had to ask me, I didn't know we had divers in Nigeria. I said, yes, we do, but we haven't created the maintenance economy. That maintenance economy has started. And that is item 7 there. The Federal Executive Council approved it to create a maintenance economy for Nigeria. And people say, oh, maintenance culture. I said, maintenance is not a culture. It is an economy. And we must consciously create it to employ people and to keep sustainable employment. Let me move quickly to slide 21. And please don't forget this. 21, very quickly. You see the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, the Bodo Boni, and the second Niger Bridge, and the Apapa Oroshoki Expressway have one thing in common. They seem to have defied solution by every government. They seem to have defied solution. So one of the things I always like to tell people is that the Buhari administration and the APC government has taken head on the most difficult projects in this country and is making progress with them now. So it's for 16 years, the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway was a litany of woes, but it is now nearly completed. Bodo Boni was awarded 3 times, he failed. The work has now started. It was the vice president who went to flag it off. The first bridge has been built, the second bridge is in progress, road network is being built. The second Niger bridge, very interesting. It always comes up during political rallies, but the bridge never shows up. The bridge is now visible and it will be delivered next year. The Apapa Oroshoki Expressway was built in 1975. I was 13 then, and we watched it crumble. So, and it seemed to have defied solution until President Buhari decided to confront it. It has now been largely built with concrete. It will be completed this year. A brand new road built with concrete to solve the movement of goods and cargo from within the port. Well, what is left really is the human impact, and I will not take any more time except to say that the ability of any nation to grow is so closely tied to the stock of infrastructure that that nation has. If your infrastructure grows, you grow. And that is why I always challenge my colleagues, the office, to think to themselves and ask, have you ever listened to an inauguration speech by a president or a governor or a prime minister where infrastructure is not an integral part of it? I can't recall one. I would like to find one. The reason is very simple. Infrastructure projects growth. It is also the most legitimate way to distribute money in an economy. I've told you about from design to the day-to-day job. So this is what then helps nations to really express the fullness of their purpose and to improve the condition of their people. And this is what I have had the privilege of doing as the Minister for Works and Housing, serving in the government of President Muhammad Buhari. Thank you very much.
If your hands are not too busy, please put them together for the Honorable Minister. Thank you. Well, he talked about a document, and he said this document.
I've been working with just been over a month now. I was a farmer before. Before, I found it difficult to pay my children's school fees and house rent, but now I can cope with that.
Before I was employed, I depended on my parents for financial help, but now I'm able to stand on my own. I'm independent on my own. I'm financially stable, and the most